Good evening, I'm Laura Lee.
And I'm Dan Wolf. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, we've learned the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency will arrive in Duluth tomorrow to investigate a sewage spill.
In the meantime, authorities are asking people to stay out of Chester Creek. Northern News Now's Madison Green is live for us near Chester Bowl, where crews are on site. Madison, what are they doing to ensure safety in the area?
Dan, Laura, this is actually the second day utilities were on site working to clear the blockage. They had to use a hose because the vacuum truck could not make it all the way down here where the release was. The city was made aware of a possible sanitary sewage backup near Kenwood Avenue and College Street yesterday. When they responded, they were able to determine that it was a release. We just heard from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, who tells us a 15-inch sewer pipe collapsed. Crews worked through yesterday afternoon and evening and returned today to clear the blockage. There is no word yet on exactly how much sewage was spilled, how much could be in the water, or if it could have any long-term effects on Chester Creek. Again, you are encouraged to avoid Chester Creek for the time being, but all of the trails are still open for recreational use. You may just see a few crews working on site. The city does not know exactly how long it will take for repairs to be done, and the MPCA is expected to arrive on site tomorrow to investigate.
All right, we'll continue to follow this story. Madison live for us near Chester Bowl. Thank you so much, Madison. Now, you may remember this spill comes months after more than 1,400 fish died in a different Duluth Creek this summer. According to the MPCA, that happened in early August after 1.7 million gallons of water treated with chloramine, a disinfectant, was drained into Tisher Creek. The drain happened during a maintenance operation by the city. Mixing the drinking water with the creek created a toxic exposure for fish. Crews collected samples of the fish, and at last check, we're still testing them.